Spotlight. Naka-record ka na?
Send mo sa wait lang.
It's okay? Yeah. Sounds check, okay?
Hi guys, andito kami ngayon sa GFOXX office.
Boses.
Let me check.
I'll broadcast the link, sir, to my client.
Okay. When you're ready, let us know.
Yes, sir.
Hi guys, nandito kami ngayon sa GFOXX office. Ayan, si Miss Pauline C. Lagyan mo ng tag. Lagyan mo ng tag.
Walang sounds?
No, okay.
No sounds. Oh,
No sound now?
yeah.
Is it?
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
It's okay.
So, good afternoon, everyone. So today I'll be presenting the product knowledge training for the Core Q10. So seeing as it is a Friday today, I'm sure that all of you will be celebrating the end of the work week, right? So usually for other people, we'll be resting at our houses, or maybe some of us will be going out for a night out with our friends, right? So during these night outs, usually we will go out drinking or eating what we call pulutan. So these pollutants are usually very oily, right? So imagine if we were going to do this every week. So it will be, these oils and fats will accumulate throughout our body. So that's why we have to supplement our diets with the proper nutrition. That's where the Core Q10 Plus comes in. So the Core Q10 Plus is a very revolutionary product by GFOXX. So this prevents cardiovascular diseases. So before we delve into this product, let me first introduce myself. I am Engineer Pauline C, and I'm a licensed chemical engineer and a product specialist for Top LC. So actually, did you know that cardiovascular diseases are the #1 disease that leads to death in the Philippines, as reported by DOH and the World Health Organization? So this is called the silent killer because it occurs with no obvious symptoms. So usually when we feel the tightness in our chest, we don't realize that this is actually a sign of cardiovascular disease. So the next day, we don't realize that we might actually suffer from strokes. So the scary thing about this is that there is actually an increase in the amount of younger people that suffer from cardiovascular diseases. So actually, in the recent years, in the recent 20 years, the amount of people suffering from the cardiovascular diseases has actually increased from 80,000 to 170,000 Filipinos. So actually, this cardiovascular risk is actually more common in men than in women. So there is 1 in every 3 people that suffer from cardiovascular disease, and the risk is actually higher for people with history of cardiovascular diseases. So how does this happen? So actually, this is not an immediate thing, but it's actually a gradual thing. So actually, we can see from this simple infographic that whenever we eat fats, it actually accumulates through our blood vessels. So when it reaches 20% occlusion degree, we actually feel tired because we actually feel that we are out of breath because our body cannot circulate the oxygen in our body, which is of course stored in the hemoglobin. So when it reaches 40%, since the oxygen cannot circulate throughout the body properly, our bodies start to feel pain because it does not get the proper oxygen that it needs to function well. So when it reaches 60%, the blood actually the blood actually has a hard time circulating throughout our body. Therefore, it does not circulate the heat that we need. So that's why the farthest points from our heart, which are the hands and the feet, start to feel cold. By 80%, we start to have high blood pressure or hypertension. When it reaches 100%, that's when it starts. So we usually get strokes or heart attacks. So the lucky people out there actually get the more luckier people, they actually have a second chance, right? So it's not a sudden death. So actually, but it's still sad because they still get paralysis, stroke, and heart attack. So this is possible because the fats and the carbohydrates and actually the calciums that are in excess actually is stored by our body throughout our blood vessels. So this causes atherosclerosis, which is the accumulation of these said compounds in our blood vessels. So this actually this actually prevents the proper circulation of the blood throughout our body. So therefore, it causes cardiovascular diseases. So the main causes of cardiovascular diseases are these four: high cholesterol, high blood sugar, high blood pressure, and high homocysteine. So I'm sure that you are familiar with the first three. So the homocysteine is actually a compound in our blood that is it is actually beneficial, but in high amounts, it is actually very dangerous because it causes cardiovascular diseases. So all of these four high amounts in our body can actually cause vascular aging, atherosclerosis, arteriosclerosis, and also myocardial infarction, and also can cause sudden death. So that's why cardiovascular diseases is called the silent killer. So the only way to prevent this is to eliminate the four high things that I've mentioned before. So actually, the good news is that we have the Core Q10 Plus. So this is a 6-in-1 prevention against cardiovascular diseases. So here are the main 6 major appeals of the Core Q10 Plus, which I will be explaining in a while in detail. So the first ingredient is the coenzyme Q10. So this is actually called the cardioprotective enzyme. So actually, it is not an enzyme, but a coenzyme, because it helps the enzymes in our body to function, to promote the reactions, and in order for our body to function well. So actually, the CoQ10 is present in our body naturally. So, however, when we age, our body synthesizes less of it. Therefore, we start to age as well. So when we age, our body functions start to function less than optimum. So in order to prevent that, we have to supplement our bodies with the proper nutrition. So that's why we included this ingredient in the Core Q10 Plus. So the Q10 is actually a antioxidant. So antioxidant meaning it prevents it protects the body from free radical damage. So it prevents the aging of our body because it prevents the attacks from the free radicals. So because we are given that fact, it means that the coenzyme Q10 can actually help repair myocardial cells or the cells within our hearts. So since it promotes the proliferation of myocardial cells, it means that it can also lower the blood pressure in our body. So the second ingredient is the natto. So are you guys familiar with natto? So I'm sure that you have heard about this because this is actually a very popular health food product in Japan. So actually, did you know that Japanese have one of the longest lifespans in the world? Actually, they attribute this to their fondness of the natto or the fermented soybeans. So there. What's special about the Core Q10 Plus is that it contains natto that is specially coated using a special technology that is patented. So because natto is a very sticky component or a very sticky food product, the tendency is that it is not able to integrate well into our body. So what we did is to coat this with a special coating technology so that it is more integrated into our bloodstream. So aside from that, it also has a high content fibrin unit, which I will be explaining in a while what it means. So the next one is that it is sourced from. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. So ayun po, yung special thing about sa natto po is that coated po siya using a special technology. So yung special technology po na to, pinaprevent niya po yung pag-stick po ng natto sa molecules niya. Kasi po, pag nagdidikit po siya, mas mahihirapan po siya ma-absorb sa katawan po natin. Kaya po siya kino-coat with a special technology para po ma-absorb po ng katawan natin at para po magamit po ng katawan natin yung benefits po ng natto. So natto po, nagko-contain po siya ng isang enzyme na tinatawag po natin na nattokinase. So yung nattokinase na po ito is an enzyme that prevents the fibrin from clotting the blood. So ayun po ang meaning ng high content fibrin unit. So since high po yung fibrin unit niya, ibig sabihin po nakakatulong po ito para hindi po mag-clot ang dugo natin within our blood vessels. So maliban po doon, meron din po tayong source po to sa non-GMO soybeans. So sure po tayo na high quality po to. So ito po ay isang simpleng experiment na ginawa ng aming R&D. So makikita po natin na yung natto, yung yellow po na makikita po natin, nilagay po siya sa artificial thrombus. Ang thrombus po kasi, iyan po yung fibrin na namumuo sa katawan po natin. So pag nag-excess po ang fibrin, magbablock po to ng ating blood vessels. So pag na-block po ang ating blood vessels, so obviously magkakos po to ng cardiovascular disease. So ang ginagawa po ng nattokinase is that it dissolve and dinidissolve niya po ang fibrin sa katawan. So therefore, pinopromote niya po yung proper circulation po ng ating dugo. So ayun po. So actually hindi lang po namin to gawa-gawa kasi proven po siya by many studies po. So makikita po natin dito yung maraming studies na ginawa po sa benefits po ng nattokinase sa cardiovascular system ng mga tao at sa mga hayop. So, ito naman po, ang third ingredient po na nasa Core Q10 Plus is yung ginkgo biloba. Ang ginkgo biloba po ay usually ginagamit po sa brain development. Kaso, ginagamit din po siya sa blood vessels po natin sa cardiovascular system. Kasi po, nagko-contain po siya ng polyphenols. So, yung polyphenols po na to, nakakatulong po siya sa maraming bagay. Kasi marami po siyang compounds na makakapag-inhibit ng plaque formation sa ating dugo. So, ang ibig sabihin po nito, pinaprevent niya po yung pagbubuo po ng fibrin or ng platelets sa ating katawan para po na nagpo-promote po ng cardiovascular disease or yung high blood pressure. So, aside from that po, nagpo-promote din po siya ng vasodilation. So, vasodilation means more open po yung blood vessels natin para po easier po yung pag-flow po ng blood vessels. So yung third special thing about it is it contains antioxidants din po. So na-mention ko na po before na yung antioxidants po ay nakakatulong po sa pagpe-prevent po ng attacks from free radicals. So yung free radicals po na to galing po sa maraming external factors or internal factors such as yung stress, pollution, at kunwari po pag nagpupuyat po kayo. So kaya po namin to inilagay kasi marami po siyang benefits. So yung fourth ingredient po is yung fish oil. So alam ko pong familiar po kayo sa mga ingredients po na to. Sure po ako na narinig nyo na po yung EPA at mas mas lalo na po yung DHA. Sa mga tuna products po, di ba, maririnig po natin that DHA is very good for the heart. And that is true because it actually promotes the proper function of the entire blood, of our entire body. Not only the heart, but also the brain, the eyes, everything po talaga. So aside from that, yung EPA naman po, omega-3 fatty acid po na to, hindi po porket fat siya is meaning po nun ay masama na po siya. So, ang omega-3 fatty acid po kasi, ano po siya, high in polyunsaturated fatty acid. Ibig sabihin po na ito po ay good fats. So, may tinatawag po kasi tayong good and bad fats na ma-explain ko po later. So, yung EPA naman po ay isang klaseng fat na nakakapag-promote ng elasticity or yung para po hindi po naninigas ang ating blood vessels. So yun po. So since napropromote niya po yung elasticity po ng ating blood vessels, napropromote niya po yung proper circulation para po hindi po nahihirapan po mag-flow po yung blood natin sa blood vessels. So yung fifth ingredient naman po ay B vitamins. So yung homocysteine po, nasabi ko na po siya before, yung homocysteine po kasi in low levels, kailangan po natin siya sa katawan. But in higher levels, nakakasama po siya kasi it is linked to cardiovascular diseases. So actually po, it is also linked to low vitamin B levels. So pag po bababa po ang vitamin B levels natin, tumataas po ang homocysteine levels natin. Kaya po natin kailangan magdagdag ng vitamin B sa ating formulation sa Core Q10 Plus. So yun po, makikita po natin na yung folic acid po, beneficial po siya sa mga taong high in cholesterol, serum cholesterol, kasi po ito po ay nakakapagpababa ng bad cholesterol or yung low density lipoproteins natin. So ang second naman po is yung vitamin B complex. Ang vitamin B complex po, nakakapagtulong po siya sa proliferations po ng healthy cells sa ating katawan at maliban po doon, nakakababa po talaga siya ng cholesterol level kasi nakakapagtaas po siya ng metabolism po natin. So, since mataas po ang metabolism natin, mas nakakataas po ito ng metabolism po ng fat, wherein yung fat po, mako-convert siya into energy instead of being stored into our body. So, tataba lang po tayo kung ganon. So, yun po ang pinaprevent ng vitamin B. So, ang sixth ingredient naman po ay yung prune extract. So, ito naman po ay nakakapagbaba ng cholesterol at ng blood pressure dahil po sa cyclic adenosine monophosphate na kinocontain niya. So, yan po, pinaprevent niya po yung paninigas po ng ating mga ugat para po makadaloy po ng mas maayos ang ating dugo sa ating blood vessels. So, aside from that po, kaya po siya nakakapagbababa ng cholesterol is because meron po siyang dietary fiber. Yung dietary fiber po, para imagine niyo lang po na para siyang bola na marami pong butas. So kinokolekta niya lang po yung cholesterol sa loob po ng mga butas na yon at para po ma-excrete po siya sa katawan natin. So nakita na po natin na maganda po talaga ang formulation po ng Core Q10 Plus. Pero aside ng dila po ay makakapag-absorb na rin po ng nutrients through sublingual absorption, circulation sa ating katawan. And within a month po, nakikita po natin if we kung kumuha po tayo ng blood test, bumababa po talaga na yung bad cholesterol sa ating katawan. So yun. So, pwede po siya i-take before or after meals at bawal po siya i-take ng mga children below 15 kasi po kailangan po natin i-consider yung blood na. So, pag sumobra po tayo, masyado pong ninipis yung dugo natin at hindi po tayo makapag-clot ng, kunwari po nasugatan po tayo, hindi po siya magpa-properly magko-close kasi sumobra na po sa anticoagulants ang katawan. So, dapat po i-prevent po natin yon. So, syempre, hindi naman po talaga mapipigilan yung onset po ng cardiovascular disease kung hindi po natin aalagaan sarili natin. And so, kahit pa isang galong ng Core Q10 Plus ang inumin nyo, kung hindi nyo naman po inaalagaan yung sarili nyo, edi wala lang din po. So, kailangan po natin mag-practice ng proper diet, lakad-lakad, mag-exercise, kailangan po natin i-supplement yung diets natin with proper supplements or nutrients, and kailangan po natin mag-keep ng positive mindset kahit po nakaka-stress ang trabaho, laban lang. So yun po, wag po tayo magpa-stress. So yun po, stay away from cardiovascular diseases and live a beautiful life with Core Q10 Plus. Ayun lang po. Kung may tanong po kayo, It's okay.
Comment na mo.
Feel free to ask po.
Okay.
Pwede po makahingi ng slide.
Ng what po?
Yung PowerPoint, yung presentation po.
Okay po. At i-verify ko lang po sa supervisor ko po kasi ang alam ko po ay bawal po namin ito i-distribute po.
Meron ako niya.
Kahit konting ano lang, share.
Kung product information naman po or yung Q&A po, mabibigay naman po kami doon.
Okay.
Yes po.
Para at least ma-share din namin.
Opo. Pag po product Q&A po, magpa-provide po ng company po namin yun.
Thank you.
Any questions po po?